Congratulations! So you fought through all of the regulations, you were able to get a license, you dealt with real estate, you've put together all the capital you've needed to put through, you've spoken with business partners, and now you're ready to take over the dispensary world. Well, the good news is that part's over. The bad news is that this has just begun. But the better news is that you're watching this video, so you're gonna learn the 5 things you need to do to make sure you start your dispensary off on the right foot. So first things first is 1, you're going to need to build strong supplier and vendor relationships. You don't have a dispensary without any products, so one of the first things you're going to need to do is figure out what suppliers you need to get in contact with so that you can make sure you have high quality products in stock. If you watch any of my other videos, it is incredibly important if you want your customers to keep on coming back to make sure you have high quality items. Not only that, the products that you bring into your dispensary will have a direct effect on the customers that are going to come into the store and how they perceive your business as a whole. So the different brands that you associate your dispensary with is going to have an impact on how the customers are going to come in and how much money you're going to make. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to work with trustworthy vendors who can help your dispensary stand out, especially if you're just starting at the beginning, you have 0 brand equity. I know you spent a lot of time and a lot of effort to get to this point, but nobody knows who you are. So when you use brands to help leverage your business itself to attract the customers that you want to attract. So what you need to do next is you want to find reliable cannabis wholesalers and distributors. You want to make deals that keep prices fair and products available. So a big problem that I see, especially when people are first starting out, is they immediately jump to providing discounts. If your first impression that you're giving your customers is to just discount as many products as you possibly can, you're going to race to the bottom, and that's not what you want to do. As more competition comes into the fold, and believe me, more competition is always coming in, if you're always racing to the bottom, you will never have enough margin to actually have a proper business and to build the life that you want to build, because you're not building the dispensary just because you want to sell some cannabis products. It's because you're building towards a life that you want in the future, right? So you want to make sure you make enough money to be able to do that. Lastly, pay your vendors on time. There's so many stories about people going in and just not paying their vendors at all. And the problem is that when you don't pay your vendors, they're not going to care about you either. And a big thing is quality control of your product, because a lot of times what happens is you're given the product and then you might just give it directly to your customer. If your customer sees that cuttings aren't good, it's super moldy product, you're getting a bunch of stems, whatever it is, they're going to blame you as a business owner. They're not going to blame the suppliers, they're going to blame you. So you really want to make sure that you develop these good relationships with these partners so that when you continue working with them in the future, if there is any hiccups, you'll have somebody to be able to help you out in the future. So you want to make sure you pay your vendors on time. What you can do, you can go to a wholesale purchasing platform such as leaflink.com. They connect the brands with the retailers so that you can go ahead and see what products are available, what costs are available, and the transaction is easy to do so from there. And then you can take the relationship wherever you want once you establish that relationship with the different wholesalers and suppliers that are out there. Hiring and training a knowledgeable team. I've done over 70 podcast interviews at this point, and one question that I ask them every single time is, what are your keys to running a successful dispensary? Go back, take a look at all my videos. You can see I ask the same question over and over again. What are your keys to running a successful dispensary? 99% of the time, they say having a good team. Having a good team is of utmost importance. Good quality product obviously goes without saying, but if you don't have a team to help facilitate, to keep the engine running, you're going to be in big trouble. So your employees play a big role in how customers feel about your dispensary. They should know about cannabis products and give great customer service. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you hire people with experience in retail or cannabis sales. What ends up happening a lot of times is that you start your dispensary and then the novelty of selling cannabis ends up disappearing. So you have these like really passionate young people who probably consume some cannabis products and they're like, yes, I would love to work in a retail store. The problem is after the honeymoon phase goes away, they'll just be like, oh, this is like any other retail position. If you've ever worked retail before, it can be very, very tough. So you want somebody with retail experience so that you can make sure that you have somebody to guide the customer through the journey of buying the products that you want to supply to your customers. Train staff on product details, laws, and how to help customers. So you want to make sure that you don't don't get in trouble with the compliance officer, especially the first time you go around, and you start recommending products that you shouldn't be recommending, or you make statements and claims that you shouldn't be making. So go through with your staff to make sure you're properly role playing the sales process and the customer journey, to make sure you go through the do's and the don'ts of what you can or cannot say based on your state and local laws. The third is then create rewards to keep employees motivated and happy. So you want to develop your KPIs for customers, and then you want to have your KPIs for your bud tenders as well. So maybe you want to generate as many reviews as possible. Maybe you want to showcase and you want to cross-sell different products, right? But what you want to do is not only keep KPIs for the amount that you sell, keep KPIs for the bud tenders that you're training, so that they can end up selling to your customers. And I don't mean selling in the grimy way of like, give me your money, but selling in a way of guiding the customers to actually help provide a more valuable experience to the person that they're talking to. So creating rewards, free t-shirts, free whatever it is, extra bonuses, make sure that you can have ways to keep your employees happy. And it's very, very important that you develop this team culture around the dispensary as a whole, because one bad apple will ruin the rest of the basket, if that's the saying. But you want to make sure that you have a good team put in place, so that if you're not in place for the dispensary, you can trust people to make sure that they're going to close the shop on time, open the shop on time, not skim products off the top, and make sure that your company is running as best as it possibly can, even without you there. Hey, very quickly, if you're enjoying this video, I have something very special for you. In the links in the description below, you can check out the workbook that goes along with this specific video. It includes checklists, summaries, and a step-by-step action plan to take your dispensary to the next level. In addition to this, I have a cool little bonus where when you download your workbook, you'll have access to all the previous workbooks I've created, and then also all the future workbooks I'm going to create. So you're going to want to get it in the description below. Now back to the video. The third is marketing your dispensary. So if you've been following this channel at all, I talk about marketing until my head falls off. So marketing in cannabis has many rules. You need to be smart, and you need to market your business in ways that are compliant. So your brand should be clear, memorable, and also follow the rules. If you haven't already, please watch my video on marketing your dispensary for 2025. Those videos are awesome because I accumulate all of my previous learnings from 2024, 2023, 2022, and everything in the past, and I compile it and I create updated videos every single year. So if you go and you watch my 2025 marketing video, you're going to see exactly what you need to do to market your dispensary so that you start on the right foot, so that you can sell as much product as you possibly can. So what you want to do next is you want to create a website with good SEO to attract local shoppers. That's number one. You want to rank number one on Google, and then also number one in the section right below Google. That's the organic section on Google. Number two is that you want to use social media and email marketing to connect with customers. So you're not going to use social media to generate $1 million of sales. That just doesn't happen unless you're this crazy brand. What social media does, it just shows your customers that you're alive and that you exist and that you're a recent business. Like with everything, and like you're going to find, there's lots of rules and regulations around social media and what you can and can't do with regards to marketing. I mean, your account quite possibly can get shut down. It's not uncommon. So you want to use social media to just showcase to people that you exist in the first place. You can use email marketing as well to make sure you keep connecting with customers. That brings me to my third point. You can start loyalty programs and promotions to bring people back. So whether it's email marketing, SMS marketing, or anything along those lines, you want to make sure you develop a loyalty program and promotions to bring people who end up purchasing from you to make sure they keep on coming back. So you're going to have a good website and SEO to bring customers coming in. They're going to be typing in dispensary near me on Google, and once they go ahead and do that, they're going to come in and end up shopping with you. But what you also want to do is you want to make sure that you capture the existing customers, because it's easier to get money from a customer who has paid you already than from a customer that doesn't know you exist in the first place. And that's where email marketing and those loyalty programs, come in place. If you want some custom one-on-one help for marketing your specific dispensary, whether it's just figuring out what your domain is, figuring out how to host your website and the best website builder to go with, please give me a shout. Just go to cannabismarketing.com and I'm more than happy to help you right there. It's a YouTube video, or if you're listening on Spotify or on any of the Apple podcasts, you're going to hear it there. Next, inventory management. So keeping track of your inventory helps reduce product waste and allows you to better determine what products to keep in the future. Again, I'm just going to use the references from the podcast because these are actual experiences of different dispensary owners, right? Team, staff, skimming product off the top, It's not uncommon in this industry. So you want to make sure you have a steady hold on inventory and inventory management. So you need to make sure you do regular inventory checkups to make sure everything matches up. The software isn't always foolproof, neither are the employees. So you just want to make sure that you're keeping an eye on inventory. And then from there, look, product churn is always going to happen. Things will happen, whatever it is. But you want to make sure you have at least very good foundational data put in place. So you know, over the course of this month in summer, you sell X product, and this is the amount that you typically sell. At the beginning, you need to build out a foundation of truth, and you need to make sure that the products that you have at the beginning are similar to the products that you have at the end. And what I mean by that is if you have a certain number of products that sell in May, June, and July, and then you fast forward the next 3 months and then something's off, you can look at your products on a month-to-month basis to see exactly what's going on. If need to be, you look at your cameras, see if anything goes wrong, but hopefully you hire some good staff and that doesn't happen in the first place. The next is tracking sales velocity of different products. So you have your different categories. Now you have your flower, you have your edibles, you have your tinctures, you have your vape, concentrates, you have your topicals, beverages, you have a bunch of products, right? So if you track the sales velocity of different products, you'll be able to see what products are typically selling, how fast and when. And by doing this, you'll be able to reduce the products that you might need to throw out because they've gone bad. Lastly, train your employees on proper storage, handling, and disposal of cannabis products. I did another podcast with the founder of Eco Waste Solutions, I think his name's Armin, and we essentially have a full podcast talking about disposing and handling of cannabis products. Because again, if you're a new dispensary owner and the compliance person comes in and they see that you're throwing away the containers in the regular disposal bin, lots of trouble, right? You don't need to deal with this stuff. You've dealt with all the compliance to get the store up and running. You want to reduce the need for compliance to be breathing down your neck, especially at the beginning, because it is not fun whatsoever. If you want to go, there's a popular inventory management software, FlowHub. I'm sure you've heard of it, but this is the screenshot that's right here where you can see the inventory and everything that's going on with your business. The next one is creating a great customer experience, right? So a positive experience makes customers want to return. A friendly space, helpful staff, and easy shopping process will keep them happy. Nobody likes to go to a store that smells bad, where the music is too loud, or the bud tenders are just very, very mean to you. You need to make sure your customers also keep on coming back. It's not about just getting them in the store the first time. It's about making sure they come in the second time, the third time, the fourth time, the fifth time, so on and so forth, right? So by making sure you have a good customer experience, right? Your bud tender is greeting you, you have a great product selection, your store is easy to find. All of these things, you want to go ahead and make sure that you have all these things in place. Go into your store and say, okay, what are the things that I think that I'm missing? Go into a restaurant and say, what are the things that I like about how this restaurant works and how this restaurant doesn't? Go into other dispensaries, be like, okay, these are the things that I like, these are the things that I don't like, and take what you can and add it to your dispensary suite, and then you can build out this great customer experience. So what you want to do is set up your dispensary so it's inviting and easy to navigate, depending on how big your store is, right? You want to make sure that your shelving and your product selection is done properly. Then you want to give personalized product recommendations. So you want to be able to train your bud tenders to be like, hey, well, if a customer comes in and says this, here are some products that you can recommend. The next is asking for customer feedback and keep improving your service. You can do this a little bit easier with your return customers and repeat customers, especially if you're in the store and you're remembering, hey, John, how's it going, right? And just ask for earnest insight and feedback on what you can do to make the store better, what people like, what people dislike. The name of the game for creating a good customer experience is talking to your customer, asking for some feedback, and then implementing the feedback that they make. And you just keep on doing that over and over and over again. Lastly, train your bud tenders to remember people's names, right? And there's a saying that says the most beautiful word in the dictionary is the person's own name. So ideally what you want to do is you want to make sure you remember the people's names so that when they keep on coming in, hey, John, how's it going? How are the kids? Blah, blah, blah. You want to develop that rapport because friends remember people's names, right? Don't just stick with the hey. Try your best to do so. So to bring it all together, what you want to do to set yourself up for long-term success is one, the right location, good supplier relationships, and a well-trained team are essential. Managing inventory is important to reduce waste, both money and product waste, because if your products are being lost and you don't need, and they're being lost, then that's money being drained down the toilet, right? 3, smart marketing, strong branding, and a great customer service grow your team. Hint, hint, go to cannabismarketing.com and I'll help you out with this exactly. And then 4, staying flexible and adapting to changes will help you succeed over the long term. So if there's one thing that I also take away from these podcasts is that compliance is one of the biggest headaches in this space. And if you don't have any experience in the cannabis space and you come from a different industry, you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. But the strong will last. The people who do not quit and the people that keep on moving forward are the ones that are going to succeed in the end. If it's tough for you, it's tough for everyone else. So you just have to be tougher than the tough that's going on. I hope these videos are helping you beat out that tough. And especially if you're a new dispensary owner, please take into consideration these things, right? I know they seem obvious, but dive a little bit deeper onto each of these subjects so that you can understand the things that you can do to set up your dispensary for success. So that's it for me today. I hope you guys got a lot of value out of this video. And until next time, I'll talk to you later. See you. Bye. Hey, according to YouTube, this is the best next video for you. Go ahead and click it now.